This is not just a food show. This is a Black food show. This is a show about how Black food tells Black stories, and more importantly, how Black American food and Black American stories are essential ingredients to America's food story. I'm Caroline Randall Williams, writer, professor, and restaurateur with a 5,000 cookbook collection and a cookbook of my own. My job is to make sure Black stories and Black food culture are taken care of. So, if I wade into waters that are just too hot for the other food shows, don't worry, I can swim. To really tell the Black food story, we need to travel across the country, across time, and explore its past, its present, and its future. Like today's question, who gets to cook Black food? And what does it mean for white-owned companies to get rich cooking historically Black recipes? To answer that, we're coming in hot, Nashville hot. That's right, we're starting with Black food's most complicated classic, fried chicken, and exploring the cultural heat caused by my hometown's favorite dish. But before we get to hot chicken, we have to talk about fried chicken. Yep, we're going there. So if you want to know about fried chicken in America, you have to go back, way back. Fried chicken is traced back to Scottish and West African roots. Approximately 150,000 Scots immigrated to the American South in the 18th century with the history of battering and frying meats. But it was 500,000 enslaved West Africans, many working in plantation kitchens, who perfected what we now know today as fried chicken. What did West Africans bring to the dish that Scots never thought of? Seasoning. Since then, this crispy, flavorful bird has been a mainstay of Southern cuisine and a staple at every Sunday dinner table. And since we're talking about Sunday dinner, I'm going back home to visit the women who gave me my first taste of soul food, my mother and my grandma Flo Flo. This was the table where we gather for meals, celebrate. This is where stories passed down generation to generation. My favorite memories growing up are sitting around this table, learning about the women and the recipes that came before me.
Ooh, I have made it to the inner circle. I've got the secret cornbread recipe. I love the old school cursive on here.
Which one?
So look, we've got the butter cookies on the one side, and we've got this squash casserole and this piece of paper.
Oh, yes.
It looks like it's lived some time. How old do we think this might be?
Oh, now that's an old one, probably back to the 20s.
This is unbelievable. Look at this.
Yes.
I've found my personal favorite title at the moment. Party chicken.
Yeah. Party
Okay.
chicken.
Because including, we may not have a
I
fried
don't
chicken
even know if
recipe
fried
written
chicken
down,
get-
because that's
Nobody-
like something you keep in your
Don't
head.
nobody write their fried chicken recipe down? You gotta know how to do it, and then you
And
don't.
you
You
put
tell
it
like
in that
one
brown
person
paper
in the
bag,
bag.
and you.
In the bag.
Yeah.
That's not a. We don't. We're not writing that down.
No, Bill
for
has
other
it in
people
his
to
head.
steal it.
Of all the recipes shared by my family, there are some staples that are never written down. Fried chicken is one of them. It's a sacred recipe passed down from one generation to the next. A simple recipe that stands the test of time. A recipe that, to this day, keeps families full and smiling around the dinner table.
And when you sat down at the table, you know, it was family style, and you passed that bowl of okra, fried corn, I mean, green beans, you know. My mother used to talk about going out, getting a sweet potato out of the ground. You know, they had chickens in the backyard when I was a little girl. And, you know, it was just there that they raised their food.
So little was thought of chickens in the early days of America that when the slave codes were being rewritten in the 1730s, they forgot to include chickens in the long list of things Black people were barred from possessing. In a world not paying for their labor, chickens were one way Black people found a way to make do for their families. When food became scarce during the Civil War, chickens became increasingly valuable and theft a common occurrence, one that only Black people were prosecuted for. That sounds familiar. In 1876, a Black Virginia woman was convicted of stealing a chicken. The witness against her? The mother hen of the chicken she supposedly stole. They put a live chicken on the stand. This woman received 39 lashes with a whip in punishment. That's the American way.
You know, these are precious pieces of our family history. Who gets to cook Black food?
People who've earned it. These recipes have been hard-earned by life. You only get to eat these recipes and cook these recipes if you understand the context of the Black kitchen, all the pain, the suffering, the fear, the exploitation that went into the development of these recipes. My grandmother and my grandfather, Papa's mother, were both conceived in kitchen rapes. It has been my life's work to try to make peace with the kitchen.
This struggle is not just my mother's. The reality is the kitchen has a dark history all through the Black community. It was often a place of brutality for Black people, mostly women, throughout slavery and Reconstruction. But despite the constant abuses, Black women used their inherited skills to improve the lives of their families during Reconstruction, into Jim Crow, and beyond. Frying chicken for white people? That was just a means to an end. And like we always do, we took something hard and turned it into something good. For Black families, fried chicken became a centerpiece for special occasions and celebrations.
This table means a lot to me because we've had so many great family meals around this table.
I'm grateful to get to sit at a table where I know what is expected because of what's been given.
It's a lot of legacy in this family, and you have inherited more than recipes, but you've inherited a lot of opportunities. You are what survived the Middle Passage. You are what survived the cotton fields, and you owe the future doing right by all of that past until we are all free. You taught me that, baby.
That's right. I keep on saying this, but it's just a running theme. Zora Neale Hurston, you got to go there to know there.
Amen.
But before I go anywhere, we got some cooking to do. Today we're having a family cookout, and there's nothing I enjoy more than preparing a home-cooked meal for the people I love. My family taught me that.
Invited to the cookout. Who's invited to the cookout is one question, but like who actually gets to cook at the cookout is another. You know that you're old and grown when you're finally allowed to do work in the kitchen of the people that taught you to cook, right? You know, and so like getting to be here and getting to help, I love that so much, and it makes me feel a little bit old, but a little bit proud also. So how do we make fried chicken in Black culture?
Brown paper bag.
Brown paper bag.
Brown paper bag. You season it.
Okay, all the seasoning in the bag. With the flour?
Yes, with the flour.
He's like, do you know anything? And then shake it up, and it's just old school. I love that so much. It's not just old school, it's
Tradition.
It's traditional.
Tradition is important. Tradition is history, and this is how we keep our history alive, coming together with a little food and a little drink to share our stories. The food is the story. This right here is Black abundance. It is such a gift to be able to gather and eat good food with good people in a loving space. And I'm so excited to get to share this table with my friends tonight because it's the perfect opportunity to get their take on today's question.